look, Neely Fuller never became like the superstar, right? Because that wasn't his mission. His mission was to implement this compensatory code so we can have a more constructive way of dealing with the system of white supremacy, so we can replace the system of white supremacy with the system of justice. That's one of the things that I love about Neely Fuller. He was adamant about that, about being just people, being righteous people, doing the right thing, having character, having a code, having morals, living a specific way, living the most constructive way that will help us improve our conditions under the system of white supremacy. Looking at all areas of human activity and how white supremacy affects those areas, and giving us ideas that can lead to solutions, but also leaving room for us to come up with our own ideas. Hence the word independent. The compensatory is to compensate for what we don't have, for what we're missing, for what was taken from us, right? And that creating that code, having a universal code, but also having that individual code. How do you operate on a regular basis as a Black person to make yourself better? Like the brother Karan Tripp was saying, we can't just talk about Neely Fuller, we have to live it. How many of us are actually living it? And then the celebrity worship has to stop. Amina, how you doing? How you doing, Amina? You already know it ain't no Saturday if you ain't in here. I appreciate you being in here. Hey, stop worshiping people. It's okay to support people. It's okay to, to be a part of a following, but not be a follower. Not to hang on to every word somebody says. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Just like they just corrected me on the thumbnail. I be spelling stuff wrong sometimes. It's all good. It's all good. Love and peace to all. Yes, I mean, the love and peace to all y'all, everybody in here, everybody around the world, all our people who want better. Love and peace to y'all. But enough of my yapping, because I'm going to do enough yapping for however long we on this live. Let's get to this. Neely Fuller Jr., one of his last interviews on the Rock Newman show. And I thought he gave a lot of good information in this. And I thought he was very, very real and, just on point with this stuff. Just on point with it. So I'm gonna put myself in the back. You're gonna hear my voice, but you're gonna see Neely Fuller and everything, but you're gonna hear me. You know how we do it. Make sure you hit that comment. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. I want to know your thoughts. Let's engage. Let's be engaged in this conversation that we got going on with Neely Fuller Jr. So let's do this.
It's evident that he cares. What do you care about? Welcome to the Rock Newman Show. It's the Rock Newman Show.
Good day, beloved. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Rock Newman Show 2.0 today. If you see me struggling to try to contain this smile that I have, it's because my whole being is smiling. And I'm smiling because of the guests we have for you today. It is a gentleman who is very straightforward, doesn't like a lot of frills, doesn't at all ask for or expect anything laudatory. I've just got to say that I have the absolute utmost respect for him. I admire him. I so appreciate the love and love the work that he has done.
No, you're right, Jason. Being constructive and no contact unless it's constructive is much to do. And yes, it is. It is, but it's something that Neely Fuller Jr. definitely preached. If any of you have ever read the compensatory code, that's something that Neely Fuller preached. No contact with people unless it's constructive contact. We're not just doing stuff just to do stuff, just because it feels good. What's it leading us to? Think about where we are, what's going on with us in our environment under the system of white supremacy. We're going to keep complaining about it. We're going to do something about it, right? It says, I have to say, it just touched me when I hear Fuller pass. Still affects me seeing this picture right there, knowing, I know, man, like I'm not going to lie. Neely Fuller was one of those gentlemen where in reality, you know, his time was going to come eventually, but I was like, this man is standing the test of time. This man is really doing his thing. This man is still out here dropping truth after all this time. So now I feel you. Like when he passed, I was like, dang, man, like Neely Fuller passed? Like, no, like Neely Fuller was never supposed to pass, but he did. So yeah. B1 always, thank you for being here. You already know you are welcome and cherished over here. So thank you for being here. But let's get back into it, because you know I can talk.
Without any further ado, the guest today is none other than Mr. Neely Fuller. Mr. Fuller, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, sir.
So I'm going to jump right in just with both feet here and read a comment of yours that states, if you do not understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Please elaborate. The floor is yours.
Well, some years ago, I kept trying to figure out, like most people do, particularly young people at different ages, sometimes once or twice, sometimes all the time. The world is presented to you, and you're in it. So you just try to figure out what is going on and why are people doing this and going here and going there. And it's sort of like a big puzzle. And I think everybody goes through that stage, coming to the world, and you're confronted with it. And over a period of years, up to roughly about the age 26, I came to the conclusion that this thing called interaction between people was weighted down with something called racism.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
And to put it all in one box, I say, now, what is this that seems to affect everything? Now, I could see a lot of things that didn't seem to be connected about things in general, but everything seems to be connected with something racial. And this was in the 1950s. And I said, my goodness, I mean, because, well, I was aware of it before then, but I didn't put it all together like putting together pieces of a puzzle. And so I came up with, just by examining everything that people are involved in, and I called that, start segmenting it into 9 areas of activity.
Now, I want to hit on something he just said. He said he started analyzing what was going on. That's key what he just said. Because if he's one of the ones that we are looking to and we are considering him a scholar, a teacher, a master teacher, he's analyzing what's going on around him. He's not just gathering information to regurgitate it. He's not saying be a parrot. He's analyzing, which means he's talking about using critical thinking. What the hell is happening around me? Why is it happening around me? How is it affecting me? What can I do about it? And now he's getting into being able to segment what's happening and how white supremacy affects us into the 9 areas of human activity that it gave us, right? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, right? You don't come up with that just by regurgitating what you heard somebody else say. You come up with that with real constructive, deep thought, intentional thought, right? So we have to be more intentional about our thinking. We have to be more critical in our thinking. Jason says he gave me the answers only why life is the way it is for Black people globally and blink. Yes, 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 yes. And that's why I'm always, when I hear people saying, I'm going to move from America so I can move away from the system of white supremacy. Well, where are you going, to Jupiter? What planet are you moving to? What planet are you moving to? Because you see that word globally. My brother used it twice. Why? Because Neely Fuller and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing they were explicit about it. This is a global system. The system of white supremacy existed before America. The system of white supremacy existed before America. So there's nowhere you can go on this planet but gradually we have to defeat the system of white supremacy as a whole, replace it as a whole, replace it with the system of justice. If you want to live in a world, anywhere in the world that's free of the system of white supremacy. Black people are dominated by the system of white supremacy across the globe. It's not supposed to look the same everywhere. How you doing, Melissa? Thank you for being here. Hey, we love Neely Fuller over here. And since you love Neely Fuller, we love you too.
I said now, so I started writing notes to myself, basically. And this was about 1956 when I really got serious about it, because I was always stumbling and fumbling and always butterfingers about everything. I could never put things together. So I say, okay, there seems to be 9 areas of activity that will apply to everybody in the universe.
Right.
You know, something called in school or anywhere else you are, dealing with finances and whatnot,
right,
and time and energy, which is what I kind of settled on.
Right.
I said, okay, 9.
I want to give a shout out to my people over on Instagram real quick. They just tuning in on Instagram. So I appreciate y'all for being here and watching us over here on Instagram. We're getting it in, talking about Neely Fuller Jr., celebrating his brilliance.
Areas of activity, let's see, in alphabetical order, it'll be economics. Started with that one. And education. People get it. That's the process of learning. Economics is how time and energy is used.
Yep.
Now, this didn't all evolve at once. It just came to me in bits, including the definitions, what I call compensatory definitions, making up for definitions that I thought didn't work very well. So I said economics is not just about money. It's about how you use time and energy. And then I went to the next one in alphabetical order, education. That is learning.
So I just do want to say this. Yes, Jason, and I will elaborate on that because I've heard Neely talk about white supremacy being the only government on the planet, but I take it a step further and say white supremacy is the major religion on the planet, the major religion for white people on this planet. The major government and the major religion on this planet is white supremacy. Yes, yes, it's the only government, and it's the major religion on this planet. Tara Williams, thank you for being here. Thank you, good brother, for honoring one of our profound scholars. Neely Fuller deserves it. He deserves it. A lot of our thoughts and our talking points and stuff come from Neely Fuller. We're not gonna sit here and act like Neely Fuller ain't the originator of a lot of this stuff. If you love Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, well, she got a lot of her information from Neely Fuller Jr. and she told us that. But let's get back into it though. Thank you, Tara, for being here.
Learning what? Learning everything about everything, because that's what education is. And then I added a little footnote to that saying, no one is educated because no one that I'd ever met, including meeting myself, knew everything that they should know. I say, so is there such a thing as a real educated person? And when you ask questions, the answers seem to be coming if you keep asking the questions, persistent about it. So I said, no one is really educated. They say that's an educated person. No, it isn't. Because that person, unless they know everything that they ought to know all the time, they know it, you're not educated. That's a process. So even back then, even though I didn't have words for it, I cliched that later on. I started adopting the phrase, I'm still learning. I made that one up. And that's a part of education. You have to learn. And that's what
But just like he said, Jason, it's a part of education you have to learn. It does hurt to admit that you are a victim, but I think it hurts even more to remain a victim, even willingly or ignorantly remaining a victim. So to understand that, yes, I am a victim of white supremacy. So now the thing is, so what am I going to do about it? Am I going to remain a victim? Am I going to adopt a victim mindset? Because you know how the conservatives like, you got to stop being victim. Hey. If you rob me, I'm a victim of you. That doesn't mean I have to allow you to rob me again, but I have been victimized by you, but that doesn't mean I have to stay a victim. So yes, it does hurt. It hurts our pride. It hurts our ego. It hurts all the things in us that we strong Black people. Yes, and we've been victimized by white supremacy, but what are we going to do about it? Because the crime is to remain a victim mentally. That's the crime.
what education is. You're constantly learning, and you never stop learning. Even when you are dying, unless you remember that you died before, you're learning about your death. You might see other people die, but you want to learn about your death when you're dying.
RBG, we're both. We've gone from victim to victor, and that's the key, and that's the whole purpose of what Neely Fuller is talking about, is going from victim to victor, to change that mindset, to reprogram ourselves from being a victimized people to being a victorious people. So we were victims, and we recognized that we were victims, but now we are victors because we're doing everything we can every day as a group of people to be victors, to be champions, to not continue to be stepped on. So I'm with you. That's a great question. Y'all dropping some great thought-provoking stuff in here. Keep doing it. Hit that like button, please, as well.
So I'm not dead yet, so I still don't know about my death until I'm actually dying. Okay, then entertainment, that's the third area. Labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. And then I turned around and answered to the question that you asked and looked at that phrase that I made up. If you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will confuse you. And then I said, now that means I got work to do.
So listen to that. Listen to that. The originator of it, if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is, everything else you understand will only confuse you. And then his next thought was, I have work to do. But the us's and we's, we'll hear that and just because we love making statements. We love making statements, but we don't understand what a lot of these statements mean. That means you got work to do. You have to study your enemy. You have to study the system of white supremacy. You have to study what it did to you. You have to study yourselves. We have to do all of these things to make sure that we go from, like RBG said, go from victim to victor. But he recognized that, hey, if I don't understand white supremacy, everything else will confuse me. That's why most of us out here are still confused, because we only love to repeat quotes. What does it mean now? Oh, and don't let it be a call to action to make you have to do something. Oh man, then that's too much because we got to do stuff.
Because I got to know what white people who seem to be running everything that has to do with me and everybody that looks like me. I said, I got to know what they do and how they do it in all of these areas of activity. Otherwise, I'm nowhere close to solving problems, my problems. Because when I started out really trying to wrestle with this race thing, I was just trying to solve my problems. I wasn't trying to solve anybody else's.
Mr.
I was
Fuller,
very personal about it.
Mr. Fuller, if I can stop you there just for a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At any time.
Only to let my audience know that you're listening to the voice of Neely Fuller, one of the most highly informed individuals on this planet when it comes to this matter of race and white supremacy. For the very longest time, we have desired to bring him to you, and we were finally able to connect and to have a
My bad, I was on mute. Nemesis, that's that victim mindset. That's that I'm gonna lay down mindset. What you mean? We have look, black people, we have everything we need to at least get started. We have everything we need to do something. Something. We can't have that mindset. That's a victim mindset. That's a loser mindset. The law of Abba Father is not grievous to keep. There you go.
time that worked for both of us. So you're listening to the incredible wisdom of Neely Fuller. Mr. Fuller, please continue.
Yes, and so I think the last one was war.
Yeah.
You're right. And that's the 9 areas of activity. And then I started going back to number 1, economics. How should I use my time and energy? Because at that time, I was just running all over this place, that place, doing this, doing that, watching to see what other people do, and then joining in and saying, me too. Unfortunately, a lot of things I put on brakes about because I was headed for disaster.
Man, love you too, man. Straight love over here. We love all each other. We love each other over here. Straight up, straight love.
On several occasions, watching what other people do and then saying, me too. I'll join this and join that, because I didn't know. I couldn't. My reasoning power was just about zero, because I was confused about everything. I was always the last one. I mean, to catch on to what's going on, what was really happening and why. And so when I really started paying attention, I said, I got to slow down and pay attention to every detail of everything, because otherwise I can see the dangers ahead if I keep doing everything like I'm doing, just rushing in and asking questions later.